Hello everybody and welcome back. My name's Jack and today we're going to be taking a look into, in my opinion, the most important features in Battle Nations, and that's guilds and boss strikes. If you played Battle Nations back in the day, you know how exciting these were, and if you're new or just curious, then do not worry, I'm going to break down exactly how they worked, what made them so special and why players are desperate for their return. So let's jump right in. First up, we've got guilds. Guilds were player-run alliances and anyone could create one. You could choose the name of it, your own 3-letter tag, and whether you wanted it to be private or open. The higher performing guilds within the game at the time, like Banana Stand Republic and Public Service Company, were private, as this way they could implement a selection process to ensure that you were at the level capable of providing substantial points to the total tally, which is completely fair, and I'm sure we're going to see this again within the game this time round. Guilds have the max potential of 100 active members, providing you've leveled it up by donating your gold. A new guild starts off with 10 member slots, and this increases by 2 members each level up to level 12. From then on, it grows by 1 member each slot through to level 50, before finally increasing by 3 slots every 3 levels. Yeah, nice and straightforward, I know. And I mentioned earlier on that you need to donate gold as a guild to move up the levels and unlock more spaces. So get grinding out your encounters ASAP in anticipation of this, because to max out your guild enrollment ability, you'll need to cough up a combined 1.26 billion gold over all of the levels. So you really want to make sure you're getting some now whilst you still can. Now, guild leaders can recruit, promote, and organize their members, and being part of an active guild is huge. There's a leaderboard system where you can see which guilds are dominating the seasonal events, and within your own guild, there's also a leaderboard to see where you're performing amongst your other colleagues. Whether you were strategizing on the forums, coordinating some attacks, or just showing off your base upgrades, it was one of the best social parts of the game. Now we've covered off guilds and what they were, let's talk about why you wanted to be in the best guild, the greatest feature, boss strikes. Boss strikes were incredible. They were special events where each member of the guild would go head to head with enemy armies, multiple waves deep, in an attempt to kill off as many as possible. They weren't your regular campaign enemies and formations, they were designed to be trickier and more thought-provoking too, than normal encounters. And the fact that there were multiple waves meant you really needed to dig deep into your ranks and really focus on what you're lining up with. These were wars of attrition, grinding down both your troops and resources, fighting battle after battle to maximize your contribution, which is why it's incredibly important that you're constantly building your armies up, training cheap units like wimps, unmanned machine guns, and anti-aircraft guns whilst we're in the build-up to our first boss strike. Now, boss strikes would be announced in advance to ensure that you had plenty of time to prepare and would last for a few days once they arrived. During that time, you and your guild could challenge the boss as many times as you wanted, with each member contributing to the overall score. With each enemy you killed, you were rewarded boss points. They worked the same way as gold and SP, in that the more valuable the unit, the more valuable you get. And furthermore, if you lost a battle, you would still get your boss points. The only time it didn't count is if you retreated, which makes sense. You know, no rewards for cowards. But there were 2 ways a player could contribute towards the cause. They could take part in battles, as we've seen, or they could donate a predetermined donation resource, in this example lumber, which could be exchanged for a certain number of boss points depending on what tier you were on. Now, you were able to take on boss strikes on your own, outside of a guild, but due to the sheer amount of points that you needed, progress was slow. I'm talking filling a swimming pool with a shot cast slow. So most people got together, even if it was a small public guild, as you stood a much better chance. And some guilds even organised shifts to make sure that they stayed active the entire event. So what did you actually get for all of that work? Well, the rewards were amazing. You could earn nanopods, exclusive units, and special resources that are hard to come by normally. Now, speaking of rewards, there were several tiers of rewards available for grabs, so even smaller guilds could earn something, while the top guilds competed for all the best units and rewards. As with everything in Battle Nations, the points needed grew from each reward, meaning it was a real push to get to the top tiers, but it gave you a goal to strive towards, which was a great feeling, and once you got there, the rewards were definitely worth it. Boss strikes also brought with them a special promotional unit each time, specific to the enemy you were facing, and as we've covered in many times on this channel already, I love a premium unit, so I collected many of them. But they were immediately strong, starting units for your army with the ability to promote them to the levels way beyond standard scopes. These events kept players coming back because the loot mattered and you could show off your progress. Plus, there was that feeling of teamwork, knowing your damage helped your guild climb a few higher ranks. Besides, who doesn't want to be number one within their guild anyway? And for a mobile game at the time when it was first released, that sense of community and competition was way ahead of its time. But that, guys, is the story of guilds and boss strikes in Battle Nations. They weren't just a side feature, they were the heart of the game. They gave players a reason to cooperate, compete, and keep pushing their armies to the limit as well. We know that they're coming, but I, for one, hope these two features return very soon because they really captured what made the game so fun. And once they were out, they were pretty much the sole reason to play the game. You'd train your armies, you'd level up your troops, you'd level up your buildings, hospitals, barracks, ready to go for the next one to come out so you can smash it even better than you did before. But I'd love to know what you guys remember about guilds, boss strikes, so drop me a comment down below. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more Battle Nations content coming soon. But thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.